Well, now, greetings and salutations, everybody. Good to see everybody. It's it's been kind of a interesting few days. So I decided to take a few minutes, stop tinkering with everything, kind of fiddle around with this here, fiddle around with this, I don't know, simulation, so to say. The concept seems fairly interesting enough, but I figure it might give me some ideas. But the question is, where are we going to get started? With the campaign, or are we going to go with chaos theory? Now, don't get me wrong, I love me some chaos. I absolutely adore me some chaos. But not a fan of the fact that there's not a whole lot of sound and music on this. But all in all, how's everybody doing today? Everybody studying? Or if you're not particularly in school, relaxing for the evening, getting some business done, getting some tinkerings taken care of. Always keep yourself busy. I think we're going to start with the campaign. Oh, there's 3. Okay. Which it looks like I need DLC for most of these. Fair enough. I can make it work. Let's see, lead the efforts in the DFW, Department of Fish and Wildlife, to control, conserve, and contain dinosaurs now rampaging across the USA. Ooh, that doesn't sound fun.
Jurassic World. This is where our story begins. A scientific breakthrough without any consideration of the consequences.
How you doing?
So nature did what it does and unleashed chaos.
Well, greetings and salutations to you,
This
Fred.
time we were deeper into
Welcome
the
in,
illusion
glad
of
to see
control, and the chaos brought something much worse. And for a moment, we remembered how precious life is. But time has a funny way of softening our memory of what it's like to lose control. And ambition. Ambition is a persistent thing. For the dinosaurs left behind, time was becoming immaterial. From miracles of science to assets destined for exploitation. Perhaps it's time we reflect on the true nature of nature. An endless cycle with one goal: survival. And this means that dinosaurs and humanity have to find a way to work out their differences.
You know, I have to admit, if I saw one of these things just wandering around, I'm not quite sure how I'd feel. I mean, granted, back home we've got all manner of crazy creatures, but I don't think
To
I've
us,
ever seen
a desert is
a
a
giant
wasteland,
lizard like this.
devoid of anything but the most extreme examples of life. But creatures once thrived in these lands.
Well, hello there,
hundreds of
bud. Good to
millions
see
of
you.
years ago. Given the geological history that we're dealing with, dinosaurs walking among the tumbleweeds isn't that much of a stretch. The current situation, where dinosaurs are running wild, is untenable to those in charge, well, those that think they're in charge. So we're left with a problem or an opportunity. this is where you come in. They've ignored my warnings before, but maybe this time with you, it's going to be different. I'm willing to embrace the uncertainty.
Oh, you should not trust me.
Okay, I guess an introduction is in order. I'm Cabot Finch, Assistant Director of the U.S. Department of Fish and Wildlife. I know it sounds important, because it is, but let's not get bogged down in labels and titles and organizational flowcharts. I'll make this easy. You work for me. See, nothing to it. You'll be working with the experts. This is Claire Deering and Owen Grady.
And yes, we have first-hand experience with the dinosaurs. I'm the former operations manager at Jurassic World. Owen and I actually helped build the park.
Neat.
And unfortunately, we were there to witness its destruction. And
Not
this
so
is
neat.
Owen. He works with velociraptors.
You could call me a dinosaur wrangler, though officially I'm an animal behaviorist. I was just building a level of trust with them when this happens.
Okay. So we'll need to get a few things in place ASAP. Start with a response facility, equipped with both a Ranger Team 4x4
And a capture team helicopter.
I do believe that we've already got one of those, but okay.
We are making excellent progress, so let's stay focused. Next step, building a backup generator. Then feeding the energy it creates to the response facility. And also make sure the building is connected to the path network. It only does us good if it's operational.
Uh-huh. Okay, so... there's the power. Backup generator, which I need to put right here. And then... stick a pathway here. So why isn't it triggering? So it has to trigger here. Okay. And now...
Hey, Claire. We may have trouble tracking this dinosaur from the ground, and even more trouble if we're lucky enough to find it.
Then the sensible thing is to take a capture team helicopter. You can trank it from the air.
See? I like the way I think.
Oh, you are giving me control of this whirlybird? Oh, that is nice. Then use R to switch to aim mode. Backup generators provide power. Yeah, I get that part. Backup generators consume fuel while power is drawn, so use them sparingly. Okay. Place backup generators to cover important facilities and keep them topped up to kick in if the power goes out. That's an interesting aspect of it. Okay, space to go up. How's it going, buddy?
Adjusting position. That's a hit. Seems the storm is over.
Oh, you're running. Oh, he's running. He ain't going nowhere, though. Oh, I got you now.
This is Owen.
I copy you.
We have it. Capture successful.
I knew you'd do it. Never had a doubt.
Really?
Well, maybe one or two.
Well, it's better than usual. I'll take it. Now, where do we take this dinosaur?
We have the enclosure. We just need you to deliver.
Hey, don't I always? Wait, you don't have to answer that.
Okay, move dinosaur off-site, multi-selection mode. Sure. And transport you. And we're gonna put you way over here inside of this enclosure. Pause time, slow down time. Accelerate time. Moderate usage of accelerated time to ensure problems don't happen. Okay.
John Hammond was concerned about what would happen if dinosaurs lived in the wild. It adds a whole new level of challenge, and perhaps opportunity.
Environment, okay.
Commencing asset transit.
See, operatives, emergency shelter, facilities. There we go. Get a research station in there.
Asset transported.
Ooh, I instantly recognize this dinosaur. Kinda hard to forget once you've been trapped in a room with one. We couldn't save that baryonyx, but we can certainly help this one.
I don't like that it's walking towards one of my gates.
There's not a lot out there for the dinosaur to consume, so we'll need a feeder inside the perimeter of that enclosure.
Hungry dinosaurs make me nervous.
Can't disagree with you there.
Good to go on this end.
Copy. Okay. We need to get a full assessment of the dinosaur's health. Utilize a ranger team vehicle. Owen will help you get a status of the animal's overall welfare. Then we can plan our next move.
We really need that? A plan? I mean, I've always been more of a just make it up as I go kind of guy.
Tell you what.
I feel that
if
in my
this
soul.
doesn't work, we'll try your way.
I make things up a lot.
That sort of sounds like a plan.
Thing is, everybody has a plan until somebody gets punched in the mouth. You know, or a bunch of vials of acid are lobbed at him, then things kind of change a lot. Construct ranger posts inside enclosures so that they cover all of your species. A ranger post? Okay.
Asset has been checked.
While we can't replicate what we have on the islands, we still have to do what we can to get the dinosaurs more comfortable with their current surroundings here in Arizona.
Sunscreen and drinks by the pool? How's that sound?
Are you seriously asking? Or pretend asking?
Okay, Claire, how about we add some preferred terrain to their pens instead? Better?
Alright, so you need a rock, okay. Ho ho! Okay, that thing is angry. There you go. Have some rocks, you giant lizard. That's a lot of people. That's a lot of humans. And the big lizard's happy. Good.
We've got to monitor these dinosaurs more closely. That means setting up a ranger post inside their enclosure. It sounds crazy, I know, but this'll work. Trust me.
Alright, there's your ranger post. Alright, there you go. There's your ranger post. There's
I'm
your
getting reports of dinosaurs
team.
running freely around the
Get in
facility,
there.
Claire.
The reports may be accurate, but they don't paint a complete picture of our current status.
Angry dinosaurs on the loose. What am I missing?
They're not angry. They're simply acting on instincts. The more threatened the dinosaurs feel, the more hostile they'll become.
Especially if they sense survival is at stake.
But it is. Both theirs and ours.
Yeah, but only we know that.
Well, for now, anyway.
We'll start by tranquilizing one of the dinosaurs from the helicopter, and then have a transport team bring it back to the facility.
Great. Do it.
You know, I could do that. See, forest, leaf and fiber, ornamental shrubs, fruit and nuts. There we go. That ought to do. Alright, so we need to go find Triceratops. Alright, and let's... see if we can find this damn thing. Hello.
Turn in progress.
You're on the wrong side, dummy.
Confirming hit. Shot missed.
Gotcha. You know, it's kind of surprising how close you have to aim with this thing. Granted, I kind of dig the accuracy. The one that I have myself is kind of short range. I usually have to get like right up in its face. Alright. Transport you
Asset
over
requiring
here.
collection.
Transport you
En route to
over
collect the
here.
asset.
And transport you.
Asset collection
Over
request
here.
received.
You know, I don't. Part of me wonders if it's a good idea to put the carnivore right next to the herbivore enclosure. I mean, what can go wrong, right?
Asset in transit. Asset transportation in progress.
I'm sure it'll be fine.
Asset being transported.
Might be a good idea to put some more backup generators about.
Delivery complete. Asset delivery confirmed. Asset trans.
Okay, so there's no expeditions.
Transportation complete.
Facilities, operations. You know,
Overall, I'd say our operations are improving. I'm confident we may get a handle on this yet. But I'm also concerned, specifically about our biodiversity. Still, for now, let's focus on getting the dinosaurs safe and secure, as well as building some additional viewing galleries the DFW staff can use to monitor the animals.
Dinosaurs of the same species form territory around them as they move. They only consider the area inside their territory in determining their comfortability. Frequently visited, shrinks over time, and to match the latest changes in the dinosaur area. Okay. Okay, no upgrades. Can I hire additional teams? I see, and for resupplies... Okay.
With so many of the animals running free, our priority has to be capturing as many of them as possible. We can coordinate our efforts from an expedition center. Get one built, and we'll take it from there.
I'll be able to track the dinosaurs, but some help would sure be appreciated. Claire tells me there are some candidates to recruit. Scientists. Hopefully you could find one as rough and tumble as I am.
I'm sure we will.
You seeing this, Claire?
Yeah, I sure am. This is our first live capture opportunity.
Let's not miss it.
We should assign that scientist you just hired to the task. Agreed? Owen, you there? I think you're still muted.
Oh, yeah, sorry. Good idea. What have we got to lose? You know, except maybe a new recruit.
Incident alert about dangerous dinosaur in proximity to a public in the outskirts. Go. Shoo.
Before the remote capture teams return, we should have enclosures ready for the dinosaurs. Think of it as welcoming them back home.
Okay, and then... Then I can just put the gates here. probably split you in half. Four captured, huh?
Transporting asset. Assets in the air. Transportation underway.
Okay, then I need to get some...
Confirming asset delivery. Asset delivered. Delivery has been completed. Asset has been delivered.
Greetings and salutations to you. How's it going?
Okay. Who's watching who?
I'm not following you, Owen.
Well, it's just like the dinosaurs are always watching us, so shouldn't we be watching them?
Yes, we should. Once we have the dinosaurs comfortably settled into their enclosures, we'll need viewing galleries.
That's what I'm saying. Only, you said it.
And I need a second viewing gallery. And then a path connecting to that. Okay, and you need a status check. So let's check on these things and see what they're doing.
Asset status confirmed.
Okay, so you need more open space. Fruits and nuts. Add some ginkgo trees. There we go. Now, you should be happy. You have so much open space. Okay, there we go. Starting to raise up the comfortability. Well, hello there. Greetings and salutations. Welcome in. Good to see you. I hope you're doing well this evening. Okay, so do I need to get rid of water? Yes, yes I do. You want less water. That's a little bit surprising, but okay. And you need a lot of ground fruit, which I will be happy to provide. You need more open space, which means I need to get rid of some... Ah, okay, perfect. Perfect happiness. Okay, yes, perfect. 4, 3, 2, 1. Weather warning received. Uh-oh.
Owen, we have a real problem.
I'm trying, Clara, but it's just... Well, this is who I am.
Not you.
Ah, the dinosaurs. Tell me something I don't know.
Okay, how about this? There's a massive sandstorm headed our way, and it could wipe out the facility. Without power, the safety of the dinosaurs could be at serious risk.
Okay, listen to me, Claire. We'll figure this out. Have I ever let you down before?
Actually, no.
And I'm planning on keeping it that way. Everything we can do, we will do. We've survived worse. What's a little sand?
Yeah, this is about to get bad.
Gotta say, I'm feeling pretty concerned about our current situation. As much as I'd obviously love to help out, I'm a little tied up. So, who's gonna protect the dinosaurs?
And our personnel.
Yes, of course. I mean, that goes without saying.
I'm saying it anyway.
It's just, it would be a tragedy to lose these animals again. And by tragedy, I mean huge financial loss. And obviously an embarrassment to those in charge of the DFW.
People such as you.
Well, actually, exactly me. So, how do we avoid that?
Okay, step 1, round up the stragglers and get all the dinosaurs back into their enclosures. Then we'll work on our safety rings.
This good?
Yes, this is a plan I can support now and take credit for later.
Yes, I've already opened up the emergency shelter. Quickly using A mode or lock on and transport them back. Repair your fences. repair that fence, and then apart from the repairing of the fence, you should be good. Ah, well, howdy do there, Travis. Hey, Carrie. Good to see you. Welcome in.
Collecting assets.
I hope everybody's doing well this evening. I've got a little bit before I need to begin cooking dinner. I imagine that we're going to be having a lot of students showing up. What time is it? Yeah, it's about... Okay, so the dinner rush has already been served, so likely it's going to be people wanting to come by for snacks and late night study snacks. Alright, so what do we have?
Transportation complete.
Oh, absolutely. Oh, are you kidding? People love the pipeweed here on campus. Thankfully, the professors don't seem to mind that so much pipeweed is going on. Greetings and salutations there, Lil Moon.
Arizona was secure. The dinosaurs were safe. Finch and the DFW had what they needed to keep the bureaucrats off our backs. For now. But the future, that was something completely different.
Campaign Washington. Dinosaur poacher ring has recently been broken up by the authorities after a disaster at their camp, and now dangerous dinosaurs are now loose in the region. That's not good.
I wish we'd had more time to brief you, but as you know, the situation is fluid. Our Canadian friends are concerned that many of these wild animals are getting close to their border. We'd like to prevent them from crossing it. We being the CIA. My division is the DSD, Dangerous Species Division. I'm Dr. Dua. I have an extensive background in paleo research in this very field. At Jurassic World, and now other locations I'm not at liberty to discuss. However, I have history with many of the people involved here. A poacher camp. What remains of it, anyway. Amateurs. They only succeeded in getting themselves and others killed. And making our job that much more difficult.
Dr. Dua, the dinosaurs are still agitated.
Tranquilizing them would appear to be the best option at this point.
Let's do it as safely and quickly as we can.
It's the approach of the dinosaur, then use that to lock on, ensuring that your gunner has a clear shot. While locked on, you can use left mouse to fire a tranq dart. You know, your cage system is kind of shit.
just as an organization has key players, me, it also has key facilities that it needs to run effectively. So you should get started with the construction of an arrival building, a control center, and also a backup generator to supply power.
Wow, I don't have a lot of space here to work with. Okay. Asking too much nonsense. Boulder Dash. I know of exactly which I ask.
Not bad if I do say so myself. And I guess I am, but we're also
Now-
going to need a response facility. Your response to this directive should be to get one built. Huh? You see what I did there, huh? Response. Never mind. Don't respond.
Let's see, Mr. Endair, have you already considered retaining the counsel of a law office yet? You know, I figured that if I needed a counsel, I could talk to Daedalus. Daedalus's family seems to have all that lawyer mumbo-jumbo set in control. Not you, Endair, but the guy giving orders. Fair. I mean, me asking a bit too much would probably, as of right now, would probably be to ask for a big, cute minotaur to probably step on me. That'd probably be a little bit too much at the moment. It's never too early for liability protection. I mean, fair. I mean, most times that I have a problem, I just punch it in the face. Or throw acid on it. That's usually how I fix my problems. Construct an operational response facility. Well, let's go ahead and just start putting these things around the edge of the facility if I can. And of course, because I'm anticipating bullshit, let me go ahead and open up an emergency shelter right here.
Claire, we need to get the dinosaurs
Ah,
into new homes.
Endair, can I talk to you?
The ones we've already captured.
Absolutely.
Yep, that's right.
The door should
And
be
we'll
open,
want them
please.
awake
Come on
and
in.
as comfortable as possible.
Ah, okay. So I've been working on some base defenses. How good are you on mounting weapons on things?
That depends on exactly what you're referring to by mounting on things. If you're talking about like I could probably jury rig like a shotgun or something onto the edge of a door, so if you open it up, it'll go off.
I was thinking more of something along the lines of putting on the back or arm of something. The thing would be a mechanical.
Ah, That is certainly a thought. I mean,
Yeah,
I
I'm having
could
to get.
probably wouldn't be too difficult to like build some kind of like a modified like arm gauntlet or what have you. Add a weapon system into it that whatever that you're working with would be able to control and fire it.
Okay. We also might need you to make some more of that. I don't know what you call it. That thing that shoots like fire and ice or fire and acid.
The rounds for Dapplewing's Righteous Fury.
Yeah. I might need you to make like 2 more of those.
That might be a little bit difficult.
Well, that's why we have a safe house equipped with a lab.
So, do you remember? You remember those 2 dragons that we ran into in Dapplewing's Manor?
Yeah, but
Yeah, I took those things apart and I used the firing mechanisms from inside of their throats to make the firing pins for my shotgun. Now I could potentially try to manufacture more, but it might take a little bit of time. But you know, I've been able to do a lot worse and do a lot crazier.
Okay. Also, what are you doing here? What's this?
Apparently this is a simulation where the entire job of this is I was hired to apparently stop some giant lizards from making their way to a place called Canada. I assume this is on another plane of existence.
Oh, yeah. No, I know about dinosaurs. My parents apparently spent some time in Chult. Yeah. If anything, make the raptor enclosure the strongest one. Like, 8 of them will nearly kill anyone.
Well, I don't have any raptors right now. I've got a thing called a Carnotaurus.
Don't know too much. They explained that basically the 2 things you need to know about Chult is that it has dinosaurs, and also Chult is the literal worst place ever. Don't go to Chult.
Huh. I've always heard that there's a number of places that's considered the worst place imaginable. I always imagined that it would either be the Void, the Abyss, or the Hells. I mean, I imagine that the Hells are pretty bad.
Oh, don't get me started. We still have to house an archdevil.
Have you noticed that as time goes on, we're just amassing more and more devils as of late?
I mean, somewhat. What are the other devils? I know we found out about Belky, but Belky, like I said, is the best thing to ever come out of the Infernals.
Mm-hmm. Well, there's Belky. There's Belky's father. I imagine that there's a number of members of Belky's family. There's Uncle. And just from the a number of people that I've encountered over at work, there's a lot of them. Granted, you know, for having the surname The Cruel, Archon is not that bad of a guy. Granted, he's mostly all business whenever I'm there, and I'd rather deal with him than the Mind Flayers, to be honest with you. They give me this weird heebie-jeebie vibe when I look at them.
I'll take your word for it.
Yeah. Also, I see that you dropped a couple gold for somebody in the communications array. Thank you for that.
Oh yeah, no problem. It's just I'm predisposed to like dog people because I have a lot of quote-unquote dog people in my life, I'm starting to discover.
Makes sense.
Tussie, Sedna, Misfit. I'm starting to think maybe I have a type. I'll have to look into this.
Oh, really now? Oh, by all means, my friend, please. What's your type?
I have no idea. I discovered my sexuality like 6 days ago.
Yeah. Yeah, I'll be honest with you, it took me a while to figure things out myself. And even then, after I started thinking that I was able to figure out what was going on inside my head, I woke up to a prince in my room and things went haywire. And I learned things about myself.
Yeah, I'm learning a lot of stuff about myself. It's awkward.
Mm-hmm. Oh,
also all the trauma.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. I mean, the trauma's a constant.
Yeah. I mean, let's see here. In all honesty, the thing that least worries me is I've nearly died like 5 times, and I don't really care.
That's a little bit concerning.
I mean, I'm fine with my mortality. It's a whole thing with our family because, like, when you know that that everyone in your family's going to outlive your dad, and your grandpa died almost like 30 years ago, so you never got to meet him. Like, again, it's an elf thing. Mortality's weird.
Yeah, I feel that. But then again, I don't know, I've never thought about mortality, life, and death and all that as of late.
I didn't really until, well, the Belky situation.
Yeah, I'll be honest with you, that was kind of fucked up.
Yeah. Honestly, I was terrified of the dragon, but then they fixed it, and then they started half threatening Salus. That was a whole thing.
It's kind of interesting.
That said, oh, go ahead.
It's kind of interesting how we're learning a lot of things that we probably shouldn't be learning as of late in school this year.
Yeah, I was really surprised at how laissez-faire they were about me discovering the roots of time magic accidentally and learning it. But hey, it's kept us alive like 4 times.
Then again, at the same time, I imagine this is a school, so I mean, how often are we going to... Oh, that thing's angry.
Oh yeah, it is. You should run.
I think I'm just going to put a goat or something in here for him.
I mean, that's a fair use of a goat. Though, just don't tell my sister. She has a thing about animals.
Oh, hell.
Oh, it's out. It's out.
Yeah, thankfully the park isn't open, so I just need to put them back in their pen.
Oh, they're both out. Oh, wow. This is that's a lot to deal with.
It is. But thankfully, I'm still in the stage where I'm trying to contain them. So, I mean, they broke out of their cages not too long ago, so it's just a matter of putting them to sleep and then putting them back in their cage. See,
There.
look, that one already went back into his cage.
At least you don't have, like, the bathroom war scenario going on. Raccoons and possums. I did not realize they were mortal.
You know, I wasn't aware of that. I mean, granted, I do know that some animals will fight a lot, specifically in the wild, but I don't know.
Well, it's more of I don't think they naturally interact too much together because one's nocturnal and the other one's, like, just regular sleep patterns. But the possums really did not want to give up the bathroom.
Now, the question is, why were they so keen to keep the bathroom? Was there, like, some kind of a resource in there? Was there food in there?
I have no idea. I came in halfway through with Iapetus, and then our sister's Ariadne is basically just like, oh, hey, come here. I need someone to hold people back. And then I spent 3 hours being scratched by small marsupials.
That's concerning.
Well, so here's the funny thing: when more than half of your family are Druid, like not to when half your family are sorcerers, you learn to just deal with the unexpected because literally becoming a sorcerer means that most times nobody has any answers for you. Like my sister is literally the equivalent of if your mom was a wizard, like not a wizard, if your mom was a druid, but your dad was a sorcerer, but my mom is a sorcerer and my dad is a artificer, so we don't really know how that goes, but our family genetic traits are very weird. Again, my brother and sister are high elves, and I'm a drow.
Bloodlines can be weird. I mean, bloodlines can be definitely very, very weird.
Oh yeah, my family attests to that. For instance, did you know no one thought that elves could have red hair until, like, my brother and sister? And slightly my dad, but he's a half-elf.
What kind of elf?
My grandma's a high elf, so he is half human, half high elf.
Okay. I mean, I think I've seen the most common red-headed elf that I've seen, I think, are wood elves? Question mark?
Haven't met too many of those, actually, so I will defer to you. Also, I saw another good bean, so I gave them a sub. They show up whenever, they show up a lot when Iaptis and I do Wizard Sips plays, so I decided to, reward them.
Yeah, speaking of, what are you two going to be focusing on next? I mean, I believe that you finished your recent endeavors.
Yeah, we're going to move on to the 6th game, but it's going to take us a while to get everything set up. It's remarkably, for how much work we had to go through to play the other game together, the next one's really hard. And also we need the stuff that, helps us do the stream stuff, so we're not doing it soon, but it'll pick back up. But yeah, no. But also did not know until I came to Strixhaven that dog people was a thing. I think my sister would love that.
Apparently, I need sand. Grass, rock, snow. Apparently this thing likes sand and not snow.
I mean, to be fair, it is a lizard.
It also needs prey, which makes sense.
I just realized what it'd be like if the goats were allowed to roam. This would be this is literally their version of the Hells.
Yeah, no, I imagine that it would be an interesting show, but I imagine that it would also be absolutely terrifying for the animals.
There.
Population, prey, disease cured. Well, you have prey. You're literally staring at food. Now, where is the other one?
You would think a 3-story, 1,500-pound, lizard would not be easy to lose.
You'd think that, wouldn't you?
True. I'm also using this as inspiration. I don't think I'm going to add to my spell book, but if I'm forced to use the polymorph, scroll that we have, I might try to use one of these. I actually almost turned that assassin that we were dealing with into a turtle. It was a 50-50 chance.
Yeah. He was shrugging off a lot of spells.
True, but it seemed like most of his abilities were centered on that whatever he implanted in his head, and I dispelled that. That was all of his invisibility stuff. Also, it means that now we can read his mind if he ever shows back up.
Greetings and salutations, Shinzo. Good to see you.
Asset transportation
Hi.
underway.
Allow me to introduce myself. I'm Endair, This is Daedalus. We're two students from Strixhaven University. We're kind of just goofing off one night. Also, Daedalus, there's snacks over on the counter if you're peckish.
I think I'll grab some of the bottles.
Good.
Thank you.
Asset has been transported.
Oh, also, just a heads up in case you... Well, I know you don't know right now. So, not on good terms with Naylock anymore. So we might lose that resource. I'll just give you that heads up.
Huh. Well, quickly as they come. Quick to come, quick to go, I suppose.
Yeah.
Although you never know. I mean, I imagine Naylock probably saw this coming.
And he did not tell me anything about it despite my every action to try to prevent it. I've been working with him to actually improve the security of the school.
Here's the
Though
question.
Oh, go ahead.
Is Naylock knows all about like time and space and all that hoo-ha, right? Why wouldn't he be able to see like so much of this coming?
Because divination is not actually part of time magic. It's primarily transmutation, along with bits of illusion and some other aspects. It's hard to explain. Like, transmutation is naturally like a green type of magic, and Naylock's time magic is actually like a neon green with some other like flecks of magic. That's how the best I can describe it as somebody who naturally can see magic. That's how I learned it.
Naylock's, I'm gonna be honest with you. Naylock still weirds me the hell out. I mean,
He's
granted,
certainly a conundrum.
he's effective. Don't get me wrong. He's certainly effective, but he weirds me the hell out.
Heading to pick up
I'd
the
argue he's
asset.
less effective than you know, but again, I work more closely with him.
Fair.
I mean, depending on an answer to something that I've had to actively, at this point, threaten him with after our last thing, I think I've done more in like 3 months at the school than he's done in most of his career based on how things are going with the cult. I've done a lot behind the scenes.
I can imagine. You seem the type. Well, you are the wise man of the group after all. It is your job to spot the underlying threats and the threats that aren't apparent to the chief.
I'm trying. At least I was able to find this place. I'm surprised they didn't like completely demolish it, but they did gut the place.
I mean, if we had more time in here, we would have probably done the exact same thing.
Yeah.
Asset delivery confirmed.
I mean, I really was hoping that they hadn't gotten rid of the grenade makers. Those grenades have saved our lives way too many times.
Yeah.
What's it say that a giant octopus is like the least terrifying thing we've had to deal with?
Heading to collect the asset.
I know what you're thinking, and the answer may surprise you if you should go out of that open fence.
Yeah, I saw them going. I saw them go. Oh, yeah, they're doing it. At least they stepped over the sleeping one.
Yeah, thankfully.
But yeah, I asked you about the mounting for weapons because I realized something, especially since I no longer feel like I'm working directly under the school and I'm having to work against it. There are several the phrases, oh yes, automatons,
Asset in transit.
where they're not Securitrons, but they're part of the Securitron network. But I realized they're basically guarding what is effectively an empty house. So I figured I'd repurpose them. and if the school gets mad, I will bill them.
I mean, we have been able to get away with a lot as of late.
Yeah.
So you're thinking...
Asset transported.
Okay, no, I get what you're saying. You're thinking about reprogramming the mechanical entities that are inside of this empty building, re-equipping them with new weapons, new capabilities, and putting them under our control.
Yep, we need something to protect the safe house and everyone in it. This also means that we can all have a proper rest cycle. Because it's definitely going to have to be Iapetus and me whenever we don't have security. But we do have Anki. I'm not sure what the sleep cycle is for an archdemon, but I'm basically going to force him because I'm already going to charge him rent.
You know, I never thought to ask while I'm at work if a devil dreams or not.
I mean, it's one of those things you don't actually think about until you're confronted with it. Either way, he's also the most powerful thing, like, within probably 10 miles of our actual safe house. So he can stand to stay up for about the 2 hours it'll take us to go acquire those automatons.
The more I think about just the sheer amount of fuckery that we've dealt with in the past 6 months is insane. Like, do you often wonder if the other students have to deal with some of the things that we have to deal with?
Well, at least Misfit and that, oh, I forget his name. I know he's one of his, like, club mates, but I just don't really... The druid guy.
Yeah, the one
Like-
that the dragon murked.
The dragon murked most of us. That was terrifying.
Oh,
I'm more...
there's
Asset transportation complete.
they actually have goat hell in here.
Oh. The worst part is you don't have anything for them to climb on. I'll ask Anki if there is an actual hells for the goats. Oh, yeah, that's great for them. They'll at least have some places where they can have fun before they're eaten.
And one of them is immediately running towards the rock.
Yep. That's also... Oh, yeah, this is goat hell. That's actually also cruel because the second they get to a higher elevation, it'll be easier for the dinosaurs to see them. And also eat them.
Well,
Wow.
you know, it's a very convenient and it's a very efficient system. Goat hell is Carnotaur paradise.
I mean, fair. I don't really have any, like, reference for actual domesticated animals. My sister basically just met some animals and then would bring them home, which is also why no one in the family is allowed to have pets anymore. I very much... Yeah, I was about to say, I thought of getting Find Familiar very early on just for the usefulness, but then I remembered, oh, I would never be able to have it at home, so I just gave up.
I mean, depending on what kind of familiar it is.
I think most are banned just on principle, just because, again, the bathroom war was an event.
Oh, if you think the bathroom war was crazy, wait until they get a hold of magic. Bathroom War 2!
I mean, I don't really think I can talk, but then again, the closest thing I have to a pet is surgically attached to my heart, so...
That's still a little bit weird.
Oh, you get used to it. At least it hasn't made you have to forcibly go to the bathroom. But no, I like Perdix.
They
He says
have
hi, by the way.
dangerous animals here?
Correct, Mr. Finch. We know where they were.
So,
But now,
you said that it made you go to the bathroom. 1, 2, or 3?
2. Very egregious 2. I have told him he is no longer allowed to do that.
Did you
But
make
also-
it to? Did you make it to the
Yep.
chamber pot?
Yep, I did. Listen, when you are forced to void your bowels
Mr. Graydon,
after
it's essential
having an
that we know where they
existential
are.
crisis of
I know my
your sister
dinosaurs.
has
I'd
just
say they're
walked
headed off
into a
in this
place where you
direction.
haven't named
Do you know your dinosaurs,
them
Mr.
to one of
Graydon?
the vampires extorting you.
But these are not
So yeah,
all
it was a
dinosaurs,
roller coaster.
per se.
You're just gonna have to trust me on this one.
Though it is also great for like just dealing with pain. Like its ability to give both pain meds
This
as
looks
well as
promising. You know, not
mood
that I'm
suppressors and mood
promising
like
anything.
enhancers. Real nice. I'm trying not to use it too much though. That can be addictive.
Yeah, I can imagine. You always have to be careful with any kind of mood-altering substance. I mean, look at Timony and her pipeweed.
I was gonna say morgue in general. Mostly because I can tell you this because I trust you. But Morgue is either a traitor or the most incompetent member of the entire staff.
Or he's cursed with the most abject, horrible luck I've ever seen.
Let me put it this way. He's either an incompetent drunk or actually trying to kill us. And that's actually a reason why we're not doing so well with Naylock. Apparently they are very, very close. Closer than we thought.
Everything
Oh,
points
what's
in
that?
this direction.
Looks like a deer. Looks like we're tracking some kind of a carnivorous creature.
Yeah, there. Let me know if we find a unicorn. Ariadne has always wanted to meet one. So I figure I should point her in that direction if I see one.
She wants a partner for a throuple?
I think this is one of those things where I don't know things. I'm talking about the actual, like, the magical horse with a horn.
Oh! Oh, like the celestial kind.
I didn't actually know they were celestial. Good to know. I'll let her know. Then she might have a harder time talking with it.
I mean, they're either celestial or a fae.
We'll see.
Say what you want about the dinosaurs, but they're not subtle.
Also, I got a
Wherever they
question.
go, they leave a mark.
Sounds like someone I know.
How good is your
Dr.
relationship with
Malcolm
Samson?
says that guy, he is out there.
Oh.
Talk about an ego.
As opposed to.
Well,
Well, you know, a certain
as far as
lovable
I've
animal
seen,
behaviorist whose humility has a charm of its own.
I'm likely a potential asset. Samson's not exactly the kind of man that you want to go to very often, if that makes sense. Why?
Well, for one, I'm pretty much 90% certain he's a crime boss, and I also know he's a standing army of mercenaries.
Crime boss I don't know about.
Well, he was connected to he's connected to Anki, who is an actual, like, low-level crime boss. Or at least according to Naylock's files, but Naylock's files also said that he was of no consequence. And now we know he's an archdevil. So, I don't know what to believe anymore.
So, here's the thing.
Mm-hmm.
There's a lot of shit going on, specifically around Samson. And Samson is firmly in a category of, we do not fuck with him. We keep him happy with us at all cost.
How do you think you would feel about making him incredibly rich?
I imagine that being wealthy is probably pretty high up there in his category, but
Okay.
have you
Oh, go
ever
ahead.
heard of a giant metal bull?
I don't believe so. Like, my father's never made one. Like, he's the engineer.
So I watched this man pick up and suplex a giant metal bull that was spewing this noxious looking green gas. He then
So we might have to go. Oh, continue, please. No, this is actually really good.
He then picked up and fought with his bare hands this giant ogre-like creature with 2 heads. And he beat the shit out of both of them at the same time.
Oh, well, no. I was already going to rely on somebody who I trust very much. So... Okay, we might have 2 errands. It depends. Like, I don't know when they're going to schedule therapy. But, having you there might be good. I'm thinking about you, me, Anki, and my older brother. I think that should be enough to both negotiate with him, and also if he gets mad, that we should be fine.
Well, Anki, the thing is, Anki has business dealings with the guy. I mean, he's a VIP for a reason.
Oh no, he's more there just to be like a character witness.
Okay, that's not good.
Yeah, it looks like a dead dinosaur.
It is.
That's another dead dinosaur. And another. Oh, should we get a helicopter? Oh, that's a big dinosaur.
Yeah. I've seen these. Apparently the game calls them Triceratops.
Oh, I see the horns.
I don't know. Oh.
Feel like we're getting close.
Oh, they weren't the ones. That's alarming.
No, we're tracking something big.
I hope this thing goes fast, because big things usually have, like, very wide gates. Oh, it killed one. That's alarming.
It's either dead or it's sleeping. I don't see blood.
Fair. Okay, like, again, this is my first time actually seeing dinosaurs. I broadly knew about them.
I mean, I imagine that they're not too far different from the Hydra that we fought in the Combatarium.
I actually thought that would be harder. We took that thing down pretty well.
Yeah.
Also, I'm really starting to get the hang of Witch Bolt.
Witch Belt's good. I mean, the way that you... Like, I've seen... You locked up that guy with the Witch Bolt more than people that are extremely experienced using ropes and chains that I know. And that's saying something.
Well, some it's the wand. It's, like, basically made for that to make it easier for me to connect.
Yeah.
But also, just because of my family, I have an affinity to 2 types of magic, like when it comes to evocation, specifically cold, which I never got to really use. And because of my older brother, lightning. So, Witch Bolt worked really well for me.
Oh, those are some big ones over there.
Oh, wow. I really hope they're not carnivorous.
Same.
They're like one-necked hydras. Actually, no, they're just like long. There's something that has a very long neck. Hydras. A long-necked hydra would be a creature with a long neck and like 5 heads, which is terrifying.
Oh, that's a big boy.
Owen.
We should run.
Owen, are you okay? What is happening?
Little busy right now.
Please tell me you have things under control.
Do you want me to lie?
If it'll calm my anxiety, yes. I'm a bundle of raw nerves.
We're working the problem.
Yeah, that's about the...
We have a helicopter standing by, and they'll attempt to tranquilize the animals from the air.
That's about right for,
We need success, Dr. Dua, before it can eat Grady and the others.
No, please don't say that. You believe in the team, right?
You want me to lie?
Come on.
Okay, we got hit.
Got him.
Owen?
I'm surprised we
What's
shot
the
anything
status?
that was smaller than a tank
Everything
round
almost
and was
under
able to
control,
tranquilize
but
that
the
thing.
animal is injured. We need to get her to a secure.
I imagine that if you put enough
Notify
enough
Dr.
drugs into something,
Oh, me?
it'll eventually go
I'm
down,
fine.
right?
Thanks for asking.
I mean, I'm not any kind of medic. As a wizard, I'm basically unable to learn anything involving healing, aside from the ability to rid magical effects.
Wow, we have gone a very long way away from camp.
Yeah, that's at least like 13 miles.
Good news, everybody. We get to build an enclosure. An enclosure that we're building of heavy-duty gates.
Oh, yes.
Oh, that's just...
And the herbivores? What about them?
As long as they stay away from civilization, leave them in place. They'll survive in the wilderness without
So
our
is there anything else I
intervention,
should
right?
know about Samson?
Given
Like, I
time
only
to
really...
adapt?
I met him the once.
Yes.
I was
I'd say
like,
they will.
okay, this person brought
I guess
Anki
that's
into their
something we're all
house,
gonna have
so
to get
I
used
don't
to.
trust them, and then I had to
Having
do a character
dinosaurs
background
out
check
in
on
the
them.
world.
Is that you talking?
But I
or
don't really
is
know
that the
too much about him
government?
or his wife. Is there anything I should know?
I'm pretty
I
sure
am
that
the
Savannah's a
government.
succubus.
The most I know is that's a type of devil and involves sex, which I have literally no experience on, so this is great.
Let me put it to you like this. She uses, she's proficient in magic that can bewitch the mind and ensnare the senses.
Give me a second here. I need to check my spellbook real quick. I got this when I was being enslaved and chased by vampires. I basically never actually cast it, surprisingly. Let's see here. What do you do? I've only used you like once when I finally mastered you. I did not realize I had this many spells. Well, on the bright side, I could probably protect two of us. I wouldn't be able to protect us for the full hour long because I know that it's very weird that I'm able to concentrate on two spells at once. That's kind of something I'm still trying to understand, but I could possibly protect both of our minds. But like I said, I'd be going with Anki, you, me, and my older brother. And we really don't want to have my older brother get charmed.
The thing about her is, leading up to the cook-off, I had a meeting with her, right? It
Yeah.
seemed like she was playing both sides at the same time.
So if I basically made them wealthy, she would still be on board?
Yes.
Okay, well, then I'll tell you the operative plan is explain to them that we can make them incredibly much more wealthy, as well as diversify their funds so they can't be traced. And then, all they have to do is occasionally answer us whenever I ask for a favor.
Asking
I can
for
make this work.
favors is always a very tricky thing, especially when you're dealing with entities from a different plane of existence.
I mean, yeah, but these are just lion folk. I mean, oh yeah, she's a succubus.
That's the thing. I think she might be because, like, when we first met, one of the things that she did was when we first interacted with each other and I first agreed with to the cook-off before realizing exactly who they were. At the very end, she kissed me.
Oh.
And charmed me with the kiss. Like, no spell casting, no nothing, just straight up, peck on the lips, instantly charmed.
Asset being transported.
Again, I don't know enough about... Like, I didn't think I'd have to even worry about planar magics when I came to this school. And now it's like... Wow. I've had to learn so much.
It's a little bit surprising. Like, I didn't think that I'd be dealing with all of this as well.
True, I didn't even think I'd meet someone from another plane. And then by the time they explained they were from another plane, that would be, like, not shocking.
Yeah.
But then again, like...
Let's see.
Oh, go ahead.
I went from Marmaria. I had to go through the elemental plane of water. That was an adventure. And then I got to my first school through the elemental plane of water. Then that school had to close down because they went to war. Then Then they transferred everybody that wasn't from their plane of existence to other schools, which was Strixhaven for me. So I had to get on the boat back into the elemental plane of water, and then go to Strixhaven from there.
Oh, hey, we've gone to the same number of planes. That's cool.
How many have you gone to?
Same, basically. Normal plane here was Strixhaven. Then we went to the Astral Sea to pick you up. Actually, no, you went to the Astral Sea, so you have one above me. But yeah, then went to the Astral Sea. And then I went to whatever plane that Naylock keeps in the orb in his office.
He keeps an orb in his office and there's a demi-plane in there?
Yeah. Giant place. Really dark, very green, like... It has the exact same color as his time magic, but also it isn't time magic. There's a lot of... Honestly, if I took my dad there, I think he would lose his mind with just all of the stuff he could be able to do. But also, there's a lot of horrible things that happen to me there, while basically just trying to tell Naylock, hey, our school has 3 vampires in it, they're part of the blood cult. Like, I think I was literally atomized and put into an actual bolt of lightning at one point, and then rebuilt.
That's a little bit concerning.
Yes! I threw up.
You'd be surprised how often you do that when you do sudden travels.
Yeah, that's actually where I found Perdix. I have a feeling that Professor Naylock has a whole bunch of the Scarab type things, though I'm not sure how autonomous they are. Perdix is, I think, able to self-determine. That said, we're still having a debate on like stuff. Hey, Perdix, can you go search this thing for me real quick? Yeah. I basically am going to tell him that I don't want him to stop doing something if Naylock tells him to do it. I want him to only do it if it's his choice. I'm hoping I don't have to like actually remove anything from him to stop an override. Oh, that's good. We'll be able to get those parts. Thanks, Perdix.
Although I do wonder, like, Perdix is basically like your familiar at this point, right?
I wouldn't really say that. Like, use familiars to go do a bunch of like specific things, like physically. Perdix is more just I have a voice in my head that I can trust and can read my mind, so we're just able to talk. I'd say they're more of just like my way of interfacing with the school's security. If anything, they're a good friend that lets me make my other friends safe.
I think I need to hire more scientists for this.
There. Though, give me a second here. I need to go use the dorm bathroom. I won't be long.
Facility details. Here we go. Oh good, I need to build another staff center.
Ah, I'm back.
Wonderful. Welcome back. Okay.
Also, while you're looking for scientists and setting everything up, you're also the only God-fearing person I know. What's your God's stance on undead?
Depends. Sentient or unsentient.
I would definitely say sentient, but also I don't know. This cult is so weird.
She's she's a being of love, like all kinds of love, both romantic and familial love.
So no harsh takes on undead. Good to know. I've been looking into stuff because, well, we're fighting a cult, so maybe having a god on our side besides your god might be useful. I've got a few in mind, and one I really hope I never have to talk to. My go-to is definitely... I'm going to definitely get some holy water blessed by a priest of Palor.
Let's see.
Oh, they're god of the sun.
Ah, the Dayman. Ah.
Fighter of the Nightman. Well, actually, no, Night Lady. There's a lot of those. Well, actually, no. The Night Lady is someone I might actually have to also entreat, so... I'm gonna tell you, like, there might be some nights where we're both staying up late to do stuff. If I literally have to walk outside and dance in the moonlight naked with a sword, that might be something that actually happens.
At least it's not with a devil.
Actually, the opposite, because it's the only drow god not affiliated with demons.
Hmm.
Yeah. They are a long shot. They don't really care about undead, but they very much they are the patron god of, like, surface drow, which technically I am, even though I'm second generation noble drow, which is a whole thing that involves a lot of genetic research. Or, I'm afraid, I'm sorry, I actually have to say, yeah. I'm a product of drow eugenics. Don't tell anyone.
Apparently we have a grung in the chat saying, "Praise be to the great gold one, Binya Binya, Ribbit."
I'll have to look into them.
I've never heard of a Binya Binya.
Yes.
Although a great gold one sounds amazing.
True. Also, I might be able to call in a favor from a powerful god that is the child of a god that I've accidentally had contact with a reliquary of. That was... Did I ever actually tell you guys what was in the puzzle box?
I don't think so. I've kind of been letting you do your own thing because you seem like the type that you like to keep your secrets for plausible deniability purposes.
Fair. I mean, that is Von Devente family, like, rule number one. Never accept accountability. Or admit accountability, I should say. But the more thing I was actually going to say, so what we got out of it was a jade sarcophagus that couldn't be opened. Unless you knew how. Which Morg knew how, but he didn't actually do in real life. This is in a dream, which, again, I don't understand how people are able to communicate in dreams with me because I'm an elf and I don't sleep. Like, things have gotten very weird since we came to Strixhaven. Like, I can actually now just message my mom and say, "Hey, could you use your dream spell and we can just have a nice long talk?" But yeah, inside the sarcophagus was a finger. Well, finger bones that fused together. But they were of the last high priest of Mistral. The god that died to create Mistra. So I basically held the most holy thing I could ever hold for me in my hand in a dream. And it was the thing that Mr. Sweet wanted.
You know, I think I realized, listening to the words that just came out of your mouth, I think I start to understand why I stayed in my little section of the dorms. Because
Yeah,
I sit here and I hear what you say, and I think about it, and then I realize the amount of different people that I work with on a daily basis, and the sheer spectrum of their capabilities and power. And I wonder how many of them have detect thoughts on at any given moment.
Not as many as you'd think. It's actually hard to get your hands on that spell than like we were led to believe. Like, I'm surprised Belky knew it. I mean, I found it because of a scroll. Well, actually, no. Was that? Oh, yeah, no, that's part of the scrolls that I actually basically extorted Morg to give me after I was put in this position with Sweet. Yeah, I got a lot of spells, actually. It's also the reason why I bought Disguise Self while we weren't on campus, because they won't sell that to students. That and Knock. Which we will be using when we go to get those automatons.
And you need prey. So it's time for Goat Hell.
I wish our problems were easy enough to solve with Goat Hell.
I mean, some of them can be solved with Goat Hell.
I'm going to need a paleomedical facility to assess the status
Which ones?
of the
Actually, tell me,
dinosaur
because
that they're bringing in.
I could afford goats.
We'll need to do a full medical scan. I want to understand what went wrong if we're going to avoid an event like this in the future.
The thing is, what can't we solve? What problems can't we solve with Goat Hell?
Well, the security problem that we're already planning to solve, that won't help with... Goats won't help with that. If anything, they would confound that. And also, I still need to finish building the pet area for the hideout. Here, actually, I have a good question. Because this was a problem that we had with Salas, like, you weren't around, like, me and Salas. I made him really mad. It wasn't a fight, but... you know how I don't understand people? This was like peak I didn't understand people, and I made him very mad.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know a lot about dragons. Should I dragon-proof a pet area? Or is that a child area I need to make?
It depends on how sentient the dragon is. I mean, we've seen that dragons are mostly, you know, people. I use that with extreme air quotation marks.
I mean, yeah. We have literally only met old dragons. We met one that was basically an adult, but apparently not. Like, Shrub really wanted to like put that into me when I started talking about it once. And then we met an actual ancient dragon.
Wait, Shrub wanted to put something into you? You have my attention.
Yeah, he wanted me to really understand that what we fought was basically like a young dragon, but as young as it could possibly be before it's an adult. Like, apparently you have to be very specific with these terms, and that's a dead goat.
You imagine correctly.
Not according to my ex.
Yes, moving on then.
Wow, talking
We
about
want to have
former
the animal
relationships while watching a
transported and then
dinosaur
secure and
devour a
comfortable
goat.
in its
How could you?
enclosure, if you please.
But yeah, in all honesty, with all the stuff we faced, like, again, everything you told me with Samson did not even strike me as fearful. It's more of just, like, what I have to, like, explain to him and what I need to bring to the table.
Oh no, Samson is fucking terrifying.
I think I've seen worse.
Like, I stood face to face with that dragon, I'm not sure which terrified me more, the dragon or Samson.
I forget. Were you and me the last two that got out of the portal when we saved you from the sea, or was I the last one out? Because I saw something that definitely scared me more than anything.
Oh no, that scared the fuck out of me.
Oh yeah, no, that thing, yeah. Because we've seen that. We've seen basically an adult dragon, an ancient dragon, bone Medusa. We saw Anki. I was killed by an assassin. In all honesty, Samson doesn't really rate, especially if I have my big brother there.
Yeah, and then there's the 5-headed chick on house arrest at work.
I'll take your word for it.
So imagine a dragon, but 5 heads, like a hydra.
Oh, I think I saw that.
Yeah, apparently she gives everybody the bedroom eyes because she wants to get out of quote-unquote house arrest.
As someone who's only just discovered his sexuality, I will let you deal with that.
I mean... Nah.
Oh, you completed mission. Nice.
Indeed. Indeed. Actually, there is... Let me check something real quick.
Also, you want to hear something funny?
What's that?
Before we went to the cooking competition / wedding / way to get Anki out in the open so he could be captured and killed, or whatever they want to do with Anki, I don't really know. I had an entire plan to try to draw out the cult, or at least capture one of their members. And that has gone so far past what I had planned, it's now not even viable until I start doing some actual counterterrorism.
So you asked about how the Green Lady sees undead, right?
Yeah.
I don't know about that, but I do know one entity that the Green Lady despises.
Oh?
The Lady of Disasters. The Dark Lady of both gluttony and lust. So, what this entity does is she disguises herself as an alchemist and wanders the earth. And she tries to sell potions of fertility to unbeknownst women. The mother then bears many, many times more children than she can possibly feed. And those children are ravenously hungry, yet always very slender. She's an entity of compulsive gambling, recklessness, and self-delusion. And she is a very, very dangerous creature.
I'm waiting for a butt.
No, that she is an extremely dangerous creature.
Oh. Then she's not on the list. I have Paylor. I have to look it up. I know there's a god of spells. Me and Tussie figured this out. So I have to find out stuff about him. So it's Paylor, god of spells. Mystra, because, again, I've handled actually a holy reliquary of the god that became them, or birthed them. Religion's weird, and this is the first time in any one of my families had to think about this. And then someone I know about because they are adjacent to Lolth, who is the be-all, end-all of, unless we are all going to die, I will never, never contact.
Oh.
But one called...
Daedalus?
Yes?
There's a Fae in my DMs right now.
Oh?
Allow me to introduce myself. I'm an unseelie archfey who doesn't duck you over in deals. I have openings in upper management. Who wants to be a warlock? You get an employee discount, 50% on all potions. Respectfully, let me think of how let me be very, very careful on my wording of this.
I think I have it. I think I have the best way. Yeah, no.
I respect your position and your authority, powerful Archfey of the Unseelie. I am currently bound to another Fey. I am currently bound to the Lady of Green, the goddess of love. And unfortunately, I would be unable to partake in any such deals. I am grateful for your interest. May your paths going forward be ever successful. And please accept this pot of honey with no requirements or desires from me as a gift, no strings attached. I am grateful for your presence. Until the next time we meet, may your days be well. Above game, Catherine, thank you so much for the $25 dono. Greatly appreciated.
Yeah. Well, I just had Perdix record all of that because, well, now I'm definitely crossing Faye off. That is way too confusing.
There's a bunch of rules whenever it comes to Faye. Think etiquette to the umpteenth degree.
Oh, the thing I'm really bad at because I don't understand people normally.
Yeah.
Right, it's like going to a noble ball all over. Oh, wow. Okay, well, I will at least study it because it helps Tussie. That said, the one I was talking about was you might not notice because I'm not even sure if like they cross planes. I just know this because, again, I'm a drow, so I have to know things about Lolth, even if it's not to worship them, just to get away from them.
Know thy enemy.
It worked to make sure the dinosaurs
yeah.
would thrive in the forest.
I know about the Raven Queen.
I believed this was for the best. Then we realized that forest makes up about
and luckily, I know
of
at least
the
enough
total
about
land mass in the U.S.
that she
and
despises all
almost
sentient
40%
undead.
Of Canada's
And we're
wilderness.
fighting a vampire.
Working together with the DFW
That's Mother
and the
Death,
CIA,
right?
we made the
No,
dinosaurs feel
she's not
right
the
at
primary
home.
death god. She is,
In
I don't know
the
much about her.
forest.
I know one specific thing because it's directly related to Lolth again.
I really hope the powers
When
that
Lolth
be
fell,
know what they're doing.
The Raven Queen got
Because
her
the
domain of fate.
dinosaurs
So
definitely
the Raven
do.
Queen is the god of those who die before their time.
Interesting.
Well, to be fair, I've nearly been killed 4 times, and we're actually about to steal one of the things that nearly killed me.
The only way to fly,
What are we about to
right?
steal?
Private. Away from the hubbub
Oh
of
wait,
the
you
public.
weren't even there. You were already out
No
the window.
prying eyes asking
Remember
wordless
Deppeling's Manor?
questions. I don't feel much like answering.
Yes.
We're stealing all
Now,
the
call me
robots.
crazy,
One of which is a
you
robotic
wouldn't be the
bugbear.
first.
Not bugbear.
But we
owlbear.
need to centralize
Oh,
our
the thing that was
operations,
chasing
and
us
that's
when
why
I
I've
dove out the
chosen this
window.
location.
I didn't
Well,
remember
okay,
what
I
happened
didn't choose
because
it
again, I was
myself, but
basically
part of the process.
disemboweled for a
I mean,
second.
I got the memo. The
Yeah, I
operations have
remember-
long been a
I remember
place where people
Belky
can
screaming,
kinda
"Scatter."
disappear. Whether on
And
their own
I
or with
had-
the help of someone else.
I had the
So,
doll, so I had to
Why
run.
not the dinosaurs?
Yeah. Luckily, though, we made it out fine. But
Pull
We
a
also
few
didn't really damage
strings,
it,
grease a
and
few
so if it's been repaired
palms,
since, along with
twist
the
a
other
few
Securitrons,
arms,
like,
and bang.
I know we had the one,
Just like
well, they're
that,
not
the
Securitrons, they're like
Department of Fish and
automaton, like,
Wildlife has a new base of
Securitrons don't have legs, and they
Now,
have those
we'll need
arms
to hit
that turn
the
to
ground
machine
running
guns.
if we're gonna have this place ready for
Like
something
these,
it
I'm gonna call them
hasn't dealt with in
automatons until I can think of a better
65
name for
million
them.
years. The bare
What
bones
about
are established.
Arconatons?
But before the ones covered in flesh and blood arrive,
Maybe, but it's
we'll
also
need
hard
it
to get
fully
out. I'm
functioning.
trying to think of something
Owen and Claire are already
slower.
on
Again, this
site.
is also why I'm not
They'll
an
have
inventor.
more info for you. Dr. Dua will be coordinating your activities. And me, I'll be managing
Point is, though,
expectations and staying an arm's length away from the
We will
Metasaurus.
pick those up
Oh, wait.
while everyone is sleeping,
Arm's
and
length
Anki
is
does his
probably
best
not
to
the
be
best
useful for
choice of
once.
words.
We may need some additional hands on this one. Mr. Lambert?
Standing by and ready to go. Just give the word.
George Lambert
give me a
is
second,
an
someone
expert
give me a
ranger
sending
who
spell.
worked with us in the islands and is now with the DFW. He and Owen will deal with the dinosaurs, while we address the facilities.
There are a number of animals from your previous captures that will be coming your way soon. Delays are unacceptable.
Understood. We'll start with the construction of animal enclosures.
We'll catch 'em, you keep 'em.
There we go. I need to get better at counting words in my head. Especially with how much I use sending.
I imagine that that's something that you never fully get used to.
I mean, you kind of do, you kind of don't. It's... Like, again, I just discovered that I could possibly give a sending message to my mom and just be like, hey, so it turns out elves here have the capability to dream. Could you just cast a dream spell and we just have like a 15-hour talk that lasts the span of a minute?
That's an interesting aspect. Having a conversation via range with dream magic.
I never much gave it much stock because, again, like, I've become proficient in magic that I never thought I actually would. Like, while just trying to perfect my matrix, I've become extremely proficient in, like, of all, the most transmutation magic, followed by divination, as well as... I'd have to look at my spells, but I know those two are ones I didn't exactly, like, excel in,
that will need food and
but are
housing.
becoming more and
I'd
more,
also
like,
suggest keeping a close
my
eye on these
go-tos.
dinosaurs until
Possibly
they settle into their
abjuration?
surroundings.
I'm looking here.
Lambert's
I'd have
right.
to count my
They've had a
spells.
taste of the wild. Confinement may not sit well with them.
Okay. We make no assumptions and pay
Abjuration.
attention to all the details.
I happen to
Remember,
really like
just
abjuration.
like us, the dinosaurs are always learning.
And you need to keep that in mind as you build another
I mean,
dinosaur
I've been
habitat.
learning abjuration more
Safety
as a
first, for them
reactionary
and
move,
us.
because
Get
we
it
keep
built,
having things
then get the
threaten us,
dinosaurs into
so
the new
having the
enclosure.
ability to,
That
like,
about cover
see
it,
them,
Doc?
spy on them,
Perfectly.
other stuff. It's a whole thing. Let me see. I'm actually gonna... If you'll give me a second, I will count up types of spells on my spell book here real quick.
Oh, by all means, take your time. Like, I
You know,
tried the,
transmutation... Yeah.
I tried the whole wizard thing, but I don't know. I wasn't very good at it.
Oh no, actually the same. I was the same with Artificer because, like, me and my dad are a lot alike, but in different ways. But since I basically got his genius instead of my mother's sorceress abilities, it's been a mixed bag because I'm not very good at engineering and reverse engineering and building things. But because I can see all types of magic, I was able to basically grasp magic, at least on a formulaic level.
Have I ever told you about the first time that I tried to make my own spell?
No, I love to hear it, especially since I've already created some.
Alright, let me update this thing's territory with some sand. Alright. So, this was back at my old school, right? And this was back when I was trying the whole wizard thing. And I knew a couple basic spells. This was before I earned the favor of the Green Lady and I started getting abilities and so on and so forth. This was before that I figured out that I was, fluid. That I had both aspects of Endair and Aphira at the same time. So I was experimenting with this spell. I really liked Mage Hand. So I thought, hey, would it be cool if I could control more than just one hand at the same time?
Would you believe I'm actually making a spell for just that?
I think you described it a little bit. So I tried to make, like, multiple mage hands. Like, 8 different mage hands all at once, right? So I casted the incantation, I summoned the hands, and sure enough, the hands appeared. So I wanted to try a dexterity check to see how they worked and how well I could control them, right? So I thought, hey, in order to test the dexterity of these hands, these mage hands, I should probably work with, like, rope or tying rope. So I gave the hands an order to tie some rope. Unfortunately, I didn't realize that they had minds of their own.
Oh.
Yeah. They tied the rope, all right. Unfortunately, I was inside of the rope when the rope was tied. So my girlfriend ended up walking into my dorm room wondering why I hadn't shown up for class that day. And she found me hogtied on my bed.
Well, at least she found you.
Yeah, that she did. And her friends never let me live it down after that.
And I finally looked at it. It's actually a 3-way tie of the 3 magics that I'm most efficient in because I've had to learn so much. So my primary is transmutation, my secondary is divination, and it's a 3-way tie between evocation, conjuration, and abjuration. That's way more magic than I expected I would actually become proficient in.
Sometimes you just surprise yourself.
I mean, yeah. Though, to be fair, I don't really think I really want to actually put polymorph into my spellbook. There's so many things I already have to manage. Keeping someone in a different form for so long, I think I'll probably just trade that in for a different 4th level spell scroll for when we are able to finally actually break that barrier.
Actually, why don't you give it to Ieptis?
Well, they can't learn it right now, and a lot of the spells that I would learn, I could possibly help them with, especially the spell I'm already working on.
Like,
To be fair, Ieptis magic is kind of weird. They're still testing it, so they don't use it as much. But, their whole thing is they basically found a different way to enchant specific weapons and channel through it. So, stuff like that, I mean, polymorph could work, but it'd be much easier for them to just cast it normally than rather cast it through one of their weapons. Actually, now I think about the spell I would give them would basically only be useful when they weren't fighting. Because I found some combat applications that might work, but I'm still Conjuration's really hard, especially when you're trying to like make things solid.
Yeah, conjuration can be difficult.
It's too tied to illusion magic. It's basically pulling from somewhere or making something that isn't real.
Oh, I do have an update for you.
Oh.
You know how I talked about I've been feeling like I've been watched for a very, very long time?
Is it the same way as when we were actually being like surveilled by some random being that we discovered?
It's not like scry. It feels like, you know, when you're just sitting there minding your own business and all of a sudden you just feel like you have eyes on
I'm
you?
not sure I'll ever be fully comfortable at the park, but the lab
I suffer from
folks wanna
paranoia.
make
You're
sure
gonna
the
be more
dinosaurs
specific.
are, so that's a job you should stay on top of.
Oftentimes I feel like I'm sitting there minding my own business and I'll have a pair of eyes on me. But for the longest time I felt that way, but now I'm not feeling that way as much. Almost like whatever was watching me isn't watching me anymore.
Confirming asset delivery.
Well, then that is good. Especially since I've been actually feeling guilty about the fact that I can actually constantly check for scrying and haven't been doing that after we've already been scryed on 2 different occasions from 2 different organizations. I think I know one of them. I'm not going to spread things, but I'm going to say some of the staff is doing some stuff in secret. We might be able to trust them. Like, I trust Diane. I used to trust Naylock. Not so much anymore.
It's surprising how easily trust can be lost.
I mean, yeah. I'll just try to take it easy. I'll save it for therapy. I don't really get how therapy works, so I'll just see what gets asked.
Okay, so do you want a heads up of what you can expect?
That'd be great because again, I'm not good in social circumstances.
All right, so it's a group session. So what happens is we go into the room. The professor is there. There's a circle of chairs, and we all take seats in a chair. And one by one, we're allowed to. It goes around the circle, and one by one, we basically talk about what happened, how we feel, so on and so forth.
The dinosaurs seem to be taking to their new surroundings.
Okay,
I
so the
want to
biggest
make
thing I
sure
have to
they
worry
are
about
doing
is
more than
stuff that is
surviving,
technically
however.
secret
We
that I
need
can't
the
talk
animals
about.
thriving.
Correct.
As I'm sure you understand, our
this is
research is more
a-
valuable when we have superior specimens in their optimal conditions.
This is
So I want you to get a science
a
center built and operational.
almost like a grief
This
counseling
means
or a
more
trauma
scientists will be
kind
needed.
of thing.
So build a staff center as
So
well.
this is where
Ultimately, science is about the data
You
we
deal
collect
with-
and analyze.
you deal
Rubbish
with
in,
the feelings
rubbish
of
out. We want to avoid that
what
at all
happened
costs,
in a
especially
traumatic
when you consider the
circumstance.
investment that has already been made in these dinosaurs.
I got
The
sent to it
CIA
after the
wants
Bagman
results,
situation.
and we're going to get them. Period. Full stop. End of story.
I might have to have them explain what trauma, like what emotional trauma is. I don't understand that. I got a lot of physical trauma.
Lambert here.
In fact,
We could really use an
look
expedition
here.
center.
I actually got a scar
Get
for the
them
first
built.
time after that guy killed me, or almost killed me. I don't know. I was unconscious or dead.
Okay, so emotional trauma. Let me put it to you like this. Emotional trauma is when something bad happens to you, and then you quickly begin doing things to try to overcomplicate things and overcompensate to protect yourself. So, like, say, for example, you've been going through and you've been dealing with a lot of things behind the scenes and a lot of unseen threats, right?
I mean, yeah, but everything I've done has been proportional.
But you've admitted yourself you are a paranoid individual. So your paranoia is directly linked to the threats that you are perceiving, and the threats that you are perceiving, you're seeing threats everywhere, and that is linked to the emotional damage that you've been taking through all the various situations and the things that we've been going through. Because, like, you feel an intense need to protect everybody and to deal with things from threats. Like, this, everything that you're doing with the Arcanotons and the Automatons, you're wanting to protect everybody, and that's a noble thing. But you have to make sure that you're not going too far. And it might be the trauma that's acting as the triggering mechanism that is making you go farther and farther to try to catch up and get ahead of the curve.
Huh. I don't fully see everything like that. I'm basically just fixing problems. We have a lot of problems.
I'll give you a prime example. Bag jail.
Oh, that thing where you throw your bag in that box?
Yes. That is... A bag jail is a trigger from the trauma of the bagman. So now, the trauma from the bagman is the reason why I refuse to have a bag of holding in any way, shape, or form, ever. So that is a traumatic response from me based on everything that I've done. So I do things to try to protect myself from a future threat, like bag jail. Anytime that I get a bag or what have you, I immediately put it into a secure container that I know nothing can get out of. Or I refuse to carry a piece of equipment that would be extremely useful, but I physically can't allow myself to carry it because of the memory of every time that I hold a bag of holding, there's a part of me deep inside that is terrified that I'm going to get yanked into it again. And that is what trauma is.
Okay, I have to work on that little enchantment. Have you ever considered just talking to the person who took the bagman? Because I'm 90% sure it's mostly dead. And if not, it's the only one of its kind, and it's sealed somewhere in the school. But wait a second. It's sealed in the school. Keep bag jail. I have to look into the bagman now. Thank you.
You're thinking the same thing I'm thinking, aren't you?
I do not know. Again, we didn't have to think about it. We had trust. We don't have trust anymore. I will look into it. Hopefully soon I'll have the authority to look into whatever I want.
Although you may want to be careful about who knows how far you're going, because if the wrong person sees how far you're stretching out and you're reaching out, they may think that you're up to no good yourself and you're laying the groundworks for some kind of plan in the future. Which,
okay, Dr.
You are,
Dr.
but
Finch
it's
must be
for
getting
our
pressure
own
from
protection.
above, because they want more
Oh, no,
animals
don't worry.
rounded up. Check the
I'm either going to
expedition
get
map
clearance
and dispatch
from
a remote
Naylock
capture
and the
team to
entire
a
staff,
hotspot.
or I'm going to go
I'll
above
do
their
what
heads.
I can on my end.
I'll have everything officially without, any of the signs of evil. I should actually thank you. Thanks for letting me meet both Mordenkainen and the founder of Wandrix.
Dude, you should have seen your face when I had you be my assistant for that demonstration. You look like you look like a literal kid in a candy shop.
I mean, it was one of the greatest achievements of my life. And then, I still haven't gotten that grant. That's going to be the hardest thing about talking to the founder, is not pointing out that they still have not given me that grant. Like I could use that grants for so much research, but at this point I want to use it for fortifying the safe house.
Well, at the same time, I do have an idea. So, do you know how I make a lot of my money?
It's the magical ink, right?
Yep. What if we got more alchemy jugs? We kept them at the safe house, and we began stockpiling ink for not only our use, but for selling to the shop. And then on top of that, using that and putting that into retrofitting the safe house.
Space is at a premium. That would take up. At that point, we'd be cutting into our own lab space, which again, I've gotten everything for basics for spell and what you told me for artifice, but it's also not that big. I mean, also we still have to disarm the giant electroplate. That's 90% of the floor space.
Well, that's the thing. We've got the main foundry, and then we got the offices on the second floor. I mean, how much space could maybe a dozen alchemy jugs take up? Plus whatever, plus the storage medium for all the ink. That's what, a handy haversack, or maybe some kind of a jug with some kind of an enchantment on it.
I mean, yes, but the enchantments cost money, and the haversacks also cost money, and we generate a decent amount of it, but we have to beware of sunk cost fallacies, especially because, again, we have a lot of material we need to get together.
True, but at the same time, that's something that we're going to be taking in over the course of a period of time. Plus, what happens to the safe house when summer break comes along and we have to leave school?
Oh no, I'll be staying.
Oh, you're going to be staying in. You're going to be staying at the safe house?
I haven't fully figured out, but I literally can't go home.
Oh, fuck. You're right.
I don't know what he can do, and I don't know what the staff allows him. He already knows all of you, so I can't go home.
Although you have to think. Who do you think is bigger and badder? Him or your mom?
Oh no, my mom and dad would kill him instantly, but the problem is I don't know how strong this cult is, because remember, the guy who nearly killed us just now.
Okay, the good news first.
Finds the person currently holding the most powerful thing we know of
our remote capture teams,
to be
which means
hilariously
a steady supply
underpowerful.
of dinosaurs to our control center. Now that I like. Removing them from
I'm already on their radar from
uncontrolled
3 different
interaction
angles.
with the general public is a 100% win in my book. Now to the bad news.
That's concerning.
Which I always hate getting, but honestly,
I know.
kind of enjoy giving.
Doesn't help that
these animals
between
are
all of
arriving
us,
with an unknown disease,
we have
and
basically
we've gotta get a
decimated
handle on it
3 to 4
post-haste.
terrorist
That's
cells,
management speak for PDQ, huh?
and
Pretty
they
damn
haven't
quick.
actually tried to move against us.
Doctor,
If
do it.
anything,
We can diagnose
Sweet's
this disease with
vendetta
scans
of
from
how
our
he
mobile
wants to
veterinary
slowly draw
unit.
out my pain
We'll get it
is the only
under
thing actually
control
keeping
before
us
too
alive
long.
right now.
That's good. Let's get to work.
You know what'd be a real terrifying thought?
I'm sure you're going to tell me.
What if we're the pawns in this chess game? Like everything we've been doing, what if everything that we've been doing is the small fry business?
Well, considering, again, we've crossed multiple planes, we've met ancient dragons and everything else, if we're the small fry, then at this point I'm going to basically just tell the founders that they need to actually start patrolling the school.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. You should also probably, clear up things. Again, you might really want to, if you need me to write you, a sending scroll, let me know. Because, again, I don't know how dragons do it, but in terms of common mortal races, you did propose to an ancient dragon that is unaffiliated to color. So that's the thing we might want to have you talk to them about.
That's the thing about different cultures. I mean, one culture's paying tribute is another culture's marriage proposal. I mean, I didn't give him a pig, so I didn't pay his mother a dowry.
I mean, fair, but to be certain, you got the attention of an ancient dragon just like I did. Maybe clearing the air and figuring out how they feel would be good, especially considering when, from what I've heard, they control a large amount of elemental magic. Scary elemental magic.
I mean, yeah, given that they are the head of the Prismari house, I would imagine as such.
Yeah, like, in all honesty, if I could spend probably like 3 or 4 hours with the founder of Quandrix, I could possibly get all of the information I needed to perfect my matrix. But then again, I so far upgraded to a stone that's far beyond my capabilities to actually inscribe formulas on. So I'm still learning. I've only been able to inscribe formulas up to 2nd level, and even then, that takes a lot of time. You saw it on the boat.
Hey, Daedalus.
Yeah.
A thought occurs to me.
Okay.
You have sending, yes?
Yes.
And you have met some of the most powerful people in existence at that founders meeting, yes?
Yeah, I basically told Naylock that if he doesn't give me security clearance in 3 days, I'm basically going to talk to the founder of Quandrix about all of their failings.
Oh, you should know.
Mm-hmm.
Savannah is linked to Tasha somehow.
She's linked to who?
Mm-hmm. We had a conversation. Savannah and I had a little bit of a conversation, and I talked about some of the people that were at the convention and the cookout. She had things to say about both Mordenkainen and Tasha.
Tasha was there!
Yeah, you didn't see her?
No! I have no idea what she looks like!
Above game, Daedalus said calmly. Yes. I believe she was 2nd row towards the back. Believe it or not, I believe she was one of the people that acknowledged me whenever I brought out the courses. I think she smiled at me. Mordenkainen gave me a nod, whatever the hell that means.
I missed the chance to be one of my 3 heroes.
I mean, Zenithar didn't turn me to stone, so I'm gonna take that as a bonus.
I have no idea who that is.
That was the Beholder.
Oh, that horrible thing. I did not know what their deal was, but still. I almost met 2 of 3. I only met 1. Mordenkainen, I mean, he copied my spell. That was correct. I could have been touch. No. I'm okay. I'm okay. I'm as okay for our situation.
Daedalus, let me put
Honestly,
it to you
no.
like this.
Uh-huh.
We have contacts with both Savannah and Samson. Who's to say that you won't get an opportunity to meet her in the future? If she knows Savannah, that's an in right there.
All right. Okay. I will try to keep that under mind and make sure that Savannah knows that I'm going to make it so they never have to really work a day in their life and they can basically do whatever they want with their money. That's my plan. That's my plan. Yeah. Or favors. Favors are good. Yeah.
Just be
Here's
careful.
a question. No. Here's my one question now, because I'm focusing on something different. Like, this is actually something that's more than distracting, despite everything we're dealing with. Was Blackstaff there?
That I don't know.
One of these days I will meet him or her. I know it's a title, but they've done a lot for spells.
If Blackstaff was there, that was not one of the names that I was focusing on. My primary focus was on the 4 dragons, the 5 dragons. 4 dragons? No, there was 5.
5. Yeah, no, 5.
It's been a long semester.
It really has. Again, I'm surprised I only have 1 scar after everything we've been through.
Yeah.
I mean, are you okay? I mean, you've got the hand thing going on. Did you get any more?
The fur covers up a lot of scars.
Good to know. Good to know.
Like,
I wish.
I've got a couple on my chest where the fucker stabbed me.
I wish I could prepare more spells. I've barely ever been able to use my factual fortification. I thought I'd be able to use that all the time to save everybody, but I have to have other things prepared. Which is kind of funny. I learned how to manipulate space after learning how to manipulate time, and then I never get to use it.
I imagine that it's one of those things where you can only be so prepared.
Oh yeah, no. Again, when dealing with Sweet, like, I had no idea even that you were in a competition or anything. I just found some nice clothes. Like, most of my spells were for us to stay in the safe house and trying to fix it up. And I spent all of my most powerful magic just warning people that I might die. On the bright side, it was better than actually having to write the letter to Iapsis the first time. That one hurt.
Yeah, that's when you dropped off the map entirely the first time around, right?
Yeah. Like, you were actually one of the only people I was possibly going to try to contact. But then I didn't have to. I was going to try to spend at least a week at Sloppy Eoges until the vampires expect me to check in.
Well, the thing about that is, it's kind of a safe haven because nobody's allowed to fight there. And gods help you if you try to fight at that place.
I mean, I'm more figured because, again, you have to have, like, some form... I don't even know how you get back there for your shifts. We just had the 1 ticket. So I just figured I could get a ticket, then just tell them that, hey, I need to stay here, and then I would trade them whatever I had that was worthy.
I was provided a bronze ticket that I use to... there's almost like a train system, like a carriage system on campus that I have to go to, and it takes me from campus to Eoges, and then I'm able to use the door at Eoges to get back.
I might have you want to see if you can get some of those bronze passes for everyone. I mean, I think all of us are fine with working in a diner and helping out if it means that we aren't killed.
I mean, it'd be nice to have some. It'd be nice to have more help, especially in the warehouse.
Well, I can cast like Unseen Servant a ton of times. Again.
Oh, you have no idea how big that warehouse is.
Literally, no.
We have zip lines and elevators that take us to the different floors of that place.
Okay, so not the warehouse, so as waiters.
Oh, you want to be a server? You want to work with Deborah? Okay.
Oh, the fish lady. I don't mind her, yeah.
Yeah. Deborah's good people.
I mean, I was more just thinking about what I could do. If anything, I'm more logistically minded, so I could probably fix issues there. But again, it's just that it's a multiplanar safe ground, but I didn't even remember that. I was more just a multiplanar place that not everyone knows about.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if Sweet knows about it.
I mean, if that's the case, why didn't you just hide in the ley lines for a while?
I actually didn't know about the ley line. She didn't take us there until after that.
Right. It was, right, shit. I was, at that time, I was on the date with Phyllis at that time. I was on the date with Phyllis. Everybody else was at the Blood Bowl game, with the riot, and you were dealing with Sweet the first time.
Actually, for the second time. The first time I saw him, they didn't know I was there, which is how I ran to Naylock's office, discovered he had a Demi plane. Well, actually, no. I discovered he had a Demi plane long before that, but then I ran to Naylock's office because I knew he had a Demi plane there, and I went to the Demi plane. All I really wanted to do was go to the library and find out books about the sarcophagus that had the reliquary in it. But oh well, that's laid plans of mice, men, and elves.
Oh, there is an entire research tree in this thing.
Oh, for what?
Various upgrades to the buildings. There's an entire section on medicine for the animals.
I think that'd be a priority considering you're running a park based on animals.
I think I'm going to start researching stronger fences given everything going on.
That also makes sense. Also, give me a second here. Belky's messaging me. I love Belky, but she needs to understand that people do not have her dad's money.
Oh.
I have been working so hard to create a soundproof area for her and Gobloom and Timony to, like, practice. But soundproofing is very expensive, and also I've had to become a minor expert in just figuring out how that works. Like, look over there. You see, I walled off the whole area, and I soundproofed as best I could, but apparently I didn't get the right kind of, like, foam for the walls. Like, that's one of the things I want to get Samson, like, to help us with. Because I could just give him a list of things and tell him I need to get them quietly, and then I think it would make our lives easier.
I mean, I imagine that there's I imagine that that's something that we could get at the ley line.
I mean, yes, but right now, just for, like, 5 tiles, that's, like, 300 gold. I need to be able to get a lot of it very quickly, very cheaply, and in a way that I could use. Because again, I'm not just soundproofing for the sake of everyone's comfort. I'm soundproofing because we're not supposed to be here. So them practicing is a giant red flag for us. You have no idea how happy I was when Sal's was like, "Oh, we don't need to repurpose a foundry so we can, like, help hatch my dragon son." And please tell me that your phoenix is close to hatching, because I also that would be another way to do that.
Looks it from the way that I've been seeing in the egg, it's cracking a lot, so I think it's going to be hatching before too long.
Okay, great. So I just need to figure out if Anki can make us anything that'll be useful, and then the only thing I have to worry about is enchanting a smokestack not to produce smoke.
Transporting asset.
I have an idea
also,
for the Belky situation.
Oh, I'd love to pick your brain on that for a different thing, but right now there's so many other things. Mostly because I don't think there's going to be much practicing, because, well, we'll see. There's a lot of different ways things can go. Let's first get the security, because that's going to be the most important part.
Well, it's abjuration, there's at the very least, there's like spells and abjuration that can like protect you from scrying and things like that, right?
I mean, I have one of them.
Transportation complete.
There's what is it? Let me try to remember this and see if I can remember.
Oh, are you talking about non-detection? I actually have that.
No. It's a spell that a lot of mages put into like their rooms and their like in the most secure part of their domain. It stops scrying, it stops sound. I can't remember it for the life of me. Almost like I rolled a 2 on my intelligence check to remember this information.
Fair enough. There's also a spell I'm looking forward to, but unfortunately, I'm too focused on completing my first 4th level spell, and then also getting the one spell that a wizard's able to learn that can actually hurt Sweet.
What's that?
So there's a spell that creates a giant, like, room of radiant light. And one of the byproducts of it is, besides the pain of the super heated, like, actual light particles, is that it saps the strength away. I think it's called Sickening Light, Sickening Room. Again, I'm still having to research it. But if we can force him to stay in there, yeah, not even a vampire could survive that with whatever Belky's family staff is. But then again, we'd have to force him to stay in there with magic because anyone in there would suffer the same fate.
I wonder how that works on creatures that are like immune to like holy magic.
I mean, it's possible, but again, I know nothing about holy magic. I've only just, like, I literally just found out about 4 gods because I was like, people that would talk to me if I prayed to them, which again, I don't know how prayer works. We've never done it in my family.
I need ground fruit and ground leaf.
So I actually heard about a type of barbarian that I think would work here or possibly destroy here. I'm not sure. They're like on the fringes of Cholt. They're barbarians that can tap into the old memory of dinosaurs from when they roamed everywhere instead of just Cholt.
That seems interesting.
Yeah. Also very messy. Like, you've seen what they do to the goats? Imagine an elf with their talons and teeth going at one of those goats.
So like So like an elf that's like extremely primally savage.
Yes, but also they have their hands have literally turned into those like talons. Their feet have turned to those talons, and all of their teeth have turned to points.
Oh no, that sounds like a truly terrifying fate.
I mean, they only act like that when they're angry. Because again, barbarians are weird. My uncle's a barbarian. He's actually relatively normal. But then again, he's also an orc, so I think he has experience.
Your uncle's an orc?
Oh, adopted uncle. Like, my parents were adventurers, so their party are all our uncles. I actually got my glasses from my uncle. Different uncle.
You have to understand something. Owen and I signed on to this project because we
Which,
want what
honestly,
is
if
best
we ever
for
meet
the
someone from
dinosaurs.
Icewind Dale, I might pretend to be my
Not
uncle.
for them to be exploited or engineered, hacked, and spliced, and compromised.
They deserve a chance at life as much as any other living creature.
Honestly, perhaps even more, as the miracle of science gave them a second chance.
So, do the research, find the cure, and then let's use it. The dinosaurs die. Again. And listen, that's not going to happen.
Actually, that's a good question I just thought of. Do you know if anyone that Samson works with has been from Icewind Dale?
I'm going to be completely honest with you. I don't really mess with his business. Like, I know some of the names of his VIPs, but that's about it.
Fair.
I had to do
In
some
all honesty-
research on them to see if anybody had any allergies whenever I was making my meal plan.
Ah, fair. Well, if we find that out, like, I know that most of the student buy didn't come from there because, well, it's a funny story with how weird my family is. My other uncle is actually considered a boogeyman in Icewind Dale. So he told me if I was ever dealing with someone from there, make sure they had a look at my glasses. I mean, well, I kind of understand it. My uncle was a spy.
You say boogeyman? Is that like the Bagman?
No, it's more of like, imagine if the Bagman wasn't real, and that's what people told everybody. But the people that were actually scared of the Bagman knew he was real, so they kept telling people that he was fake.
So literally the Bagman.
I mean, kinda. Again, he taught me a lot of things. A lot of how I'm actually fortifying the bases from stuff he taught me. It's also why I don't believe in torture, which is kind of why I got mad at you.
Ah, the Deadening Men incident.
Yeah. You got very lucky. Torture doesn't actually, like, get you anything. All it does is give you the quickest lie that makes people, like, a pain stop. But to be fair, we also didn't know that those two were just a bunch of civilians who were already extorted by an archdevil.
Technically, I wasn't after information.
Again, it's inhumane, ineffective, and just it's dirty.
Let me counter you with that. Have you seen what happens to a humanoid body when magic affects it? I
In
imagine
some ways,
that you would, yes?
in some ways, they're all different.
If you identify... Now, in formal combat, allow me to ask you this.
Mm-hmm.
In formal combat, is it not the quickest, isn't the most efficient way to handle combat to find the most dangerous target and incapacitate said target? So that, hypothetically, they can't use offensive magic on your closest allies.
Again, there's too many factors there. For one, even with the factor you're talking about, we didn't know the Dandy Man had an entire building full of people, including his brother, who has all the same capabilities. We were very much in danger and overstretched. And again, I understand. Remember, I look at problems, I solve them.
Mm-hmm.
But we were also dealing with a very low-level problem that you gave a very max-level response.
I feel a lot of us was in a similar boat that night.
it did not go any good places. Again, there's a reason why I told Anki that it would have been better for all of us if I'd killed him the first time I met him. Which the first time I met him, because he met us when we were intoxicated, was when we were paying him.
Which makes me wonder if that entire thing was some kind of a test of us.
No. He's an archdevil. He's used to taking advantage of people. Remember, we robbed somebody he already put in the same position as us to pay him back for the position he put us in. He preyed on us. That's why I don't like him. It's why I don't trust him. And it's also why I don't care that his reason for not just going back to the Hells and taking himself off the board is his family. He put our family in danger.
I agree with you there. When somebody puts family in danger, they get dealt with.
But now we can't, so we make do, and that's why we are stealing 3 robots, and I'm possibly going to have you also decommission 2. Because we're going to need escorts.
I find it fascinating how you and I are on the same page whenever it comes to our goals, but our operations and the way that we go about things are completely different from each other.
I mean, we're from 2 different planes, and also, even if your plane is somewhat similar to ours, I come from a very, 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 very... Again, I naturally don't understand people, and I was raised by people who went through a lot of very specific things. Again, my parents first met each other when my father freed my mother from slavery. And for the next 6 months, it would be regular that my father would wake up with my mom poised a knife against his neck saying that she could kill him. And his ideal response was, "You're beautiful." They tell us that story a lot.
He's into women that can kick his ass.
Actually, less. It's more of just, okay, you can't tell Tussie I told you this. Because this is... They were actually out on leave. They gave them the day off while like we were doing a thing. But my mom got my dad a gift that I don't fully get, but I'm told it fits. Mom got Dad a shirt that he only wears when they are off on vacation together. It reads, "This is me and the bad bitch I got with my autism." I don't know what autism is.
You know, it's funny sometimes. It's funny how the weirdest things can attract somebody to you. But that's the great thing about love. You never know when it's going to show up. You never know when it's going to show up. And you never know how long it's going to be there. Whether it's just for a couple hours, for a small crush, a few days, a few weeks, maybe a year or 2. But sometimes it lasts a lifetime. Sometimes it lasts multiple lifetimes. That's the great thing about love. And I truly hope that you get to experience it one day. Like, not simple like familial love, but actual factual love.
Well, blood cult preventing. Statistically, I should, because I'm going to outlive everyone except Tussie. That also reminds me, I need to figure out what that drow priest actually worshipped when I met her.
That was at the blood drive, right?
Yeah, no, she was very nice. Actually, also the first ever drow besides my mom I ever met. Should have kept in touch.
That was, I believe, all the clerics at that point were all clerics of life gods, I believe.
Yeah, which means she must be a surface drow, but still, I mean, well, life. I don't know if life means anti-undead or religion is so hard. Why can't you just quantify things like normal people? This is why I'm a wizard.
I mean, I imagine that death, the death domain would be the anti-undead.
Again, like that's the Raven Queen thing, but I'm also I don't know how they work. I'm basically just going one of my plans, depending on how well the acquiring of the security is possibly entreat some gods. Because again, we're fighting against an evil god, so I feel like that would be in somebody's interest. But I also don't know what I'm asking for. I'm just trying to get something to help us. That said, at least only one of the 4 or 5 requires me to dance naked in the moonlight.
I still find that hilarious.
Ilias Trehi, she is a free spirit and the only drow goddess that is not evil and will also not steal your soul.
That's a good thing. That's very important.
Honestly, yeah. I mean, I know you're devoted to your one, but if they allow for cross worship, I would honestly recommend them. Because, again, my mother was almost a high priestess of Loth and then sold into slavery for drow politics. So, they basically said if I ever had to pray to a god, Ilias Trehi is the one. And if I got lucky, I'd live. Not because they're capricious or evil, it's just because you're praying to a god, so it's a 50-50.
Mm-hmm.
I think they might also be a part of a love domain, so they might actually listen to you. Again, I am very, very sketchy on them.
I don't know. I've never heard of love deities fighting each other. You know, make love not war and all that. But then again, mine is Fey in origin.
True. I mean, well, mine is Fey in origin digressed because Loth fell, then they took over a demon realm. Loth is crazy. There's a reason why one of the most recent, like the most regular curses in drow culture translates to Loth hates us. Because it's the standing order for the religion.
Why would you worship a god or a goddess that hates you?
Because they cursed our entire race, and they're the only god that will immediately listen. Yeah, the Fey Pantheon is not great. There's a reason why I don't talk about other elven gods. There's a reason I don't talk about Lolth. But at this point, I'm already fighting a different god, so... At this point,
Dr. Dua, this is Lambert.
If I see my sister fall and I need to save her life, I'd even talk to Lolth.
Confirm?
Yes, that's correct. We need
It would
to
really
grow
suck
this
and my mom would
facility,
probably break her
which
heart.
means we need more animals.
As well as the rest of my
It's
family,
time
but it
to
would mean
stress
that
test
at least
our
one of my family
systems
didn't
and
die.
make sure we're capable of managing both the science and our operations.
Understood. My teams are standing by. We still have a number of dinosaurs in the wild.
Though, to be
Plenty of
fair,
targets to
from
bring
what
in.
I know of Lolth,
Assets. And yes,
at least
this
everything
will
I've
be
been
an
through
ongoing mission for us
would be
moving
everything
forward.
they love, because they love treachery, secrets, spy stuff. They basically like watching soap operas.
I wonder if, like, the way that the gods appear for mortals is we're just a soap opera for them. We're like a play for them.
That and food. From what I understand, they feed on worship, but also, again, my mom has a very cynical view towards gods because she was raised to be a high priestess. Like, again, I hate to use this phrase, drow eugenics to be the perfect love priestess.
Mm-hmm.
And, but then again, drow politics had her sold into slavery and her entire family killed.
That's rough.
So, I mean, from what I'm told, she basically got a net gain. And also, I should never get involved with drow politics.
I try to avoid all politics at all times.
I mean, a lot of what I'm doing to protect all of us is politics, so I'm just... If anything, wizard politics are the least, like, troubling. It's basically, what can you do? What can you give someone else? And, yeah, that's basically it.
Let's see, enclosures. Should probably put a ranger post in each of these areas.
I'm a little worried about the ranger post inside an enclosure.
I know, you'd think that, but you're supposed to put them in there.
As someone logistically minded, I find that foolish, but again, I have been playing through a series that is based on one company making a zombie virus and not expecting that to be a bad thing.
It looks like an outhouse.
I mean, yes. That said, though, I need to go start making preparations for later, so...
Fair.
Yeah, I'll talk to you later. It's been great, actually. I think this actually helped as much as possibly the therapy.
Believe it or not, just sitting and talking to somebody can accomplish so much. And given the time, I'm probably going to finish up this mission and then probably turn in myself.
Okay. Well, maybe I'll show up again when you play this. It depends on schedules, but this has been nice.
Yeah. Feel free to, grab a snack or something whenever you head out before you go trance.
Yeah, I'm thinking about grabbing one of those bars, but I'll talk to you later.
Yeah.
Bye-bye.
Have a good one. And there he goes. Facilities, operations, response facility, paleo medical. I've already got that. Actually, I could use a don't need a response facility. Emergency shelter. No, don't need that. Database, scientist. Yeah, I'm going to let you two rest. Ooh, you have training points. Okay, I see. So by training, I can upgrade. That's kinda neat. Complete the DFW headquarters by increasing the asset rating. Capture new species and ensure that they are comfortable. So I have to capture some new species. But part of me wants to continue to research. Staff is busy, can't research that. What about new structures? And for this is what, staff busy scientist limits. Okay. By increasing asset rating. You're fine. Let's see. Right, this is the new pen. So I need to put some water in here. Those two are recovering. You know, I really would like to have some, I really would like to have more what? Just more. Storm defense upgrades. Hello. Oh, I can, Torosaurus, Parasaurolophus, Baryonyx. I think I'm gonna get some Parasaurolophuses. And then
reassigning controls.
actually, I wonder if there is... Where's my ranger team? There you are. Right, so the incident reports. Incident reports are there. Actually, I could probably build more response facilities. Let me go ahead and add this. The incident report is almost done. That's good. Infrastructure. can't get that. 7 seconds left for that. That's good. I wonder if I can put the Parasaurolophus with the Ankylosauruses.
Assets in the air. Transportation underway. Transporting asset.
I mean, you can usually put a lot more herbivores into the same container with each other.
Asset has been delivered. Delivery complete.
All right, so go ahead and let's take a look at their
Confirming
stats.
asset delivery. Transportation complete.
Oh, you got the bird flu! Oh, shit. That is not good. Wait, vulnerabilities. But I have to get the crew to check on you to see if you actually have the bird flu. Do you in fact have the bird flu? There we go. Now you are perfectly content. What about the Ankylosauruses? Indeed you do. You do see dinosaurs. And that is a very, very good thing. That's a Carnotaurus. That is an Allosaurus. Those two are fine. They're just chilling by themselves. Staff is busy, staff is busy. Okay, so I can't get anything from here. Okay, we're up to almost 2,000 rating. There we go. Go, got that. Ranger team. Mobile vet unit. Capture team. Really? I am pleased to hear that your day at work was satisfying. You know, it's probably a good idea to add a number of emergency
Asset in transit. Asset transportation underway.
Probably a good idea to put down some emergency centers.
Asset has been transported. Asset delivery confirmed. Asset transportation complete.
Where are you going? Get back in there. I want you to check the status on this Torosaurus. Alright, and you have... Ah, you cured him. Good job. Alright, so... Good, everybody healthy. Alright then, we need some...
Attention all personnel. Our weather reports have identified an approaching storm. Please await further instructions. Your attention, please. As a precautionary measure, please proceed. Attention all personnel. Our weather forecast has been updated. The storm warning level has been raised. Attention all personnel. Please proceed.
And here comes the storm. That is not good.
Our dinosaurs are panicking. Why? Like any animal, fear drives their survival instinct, and that is coming under threat.
Rest well. I hope you sleep well. Take care of yourself. And I appreciate you stopping by for a little bit. Above game, Punkles. Have a good one. I appreciate you stopping by tonight. Alright, everything should be good. And then I need another viewing facility here. Road here. What do we got? That is a Chasmosaurus. Now, can we get another research, more research going? No. I think I need to train up my staff a little bit more. Ground fiber, open space. Now you need... You need more forest. Then I will put some forest along the edge of this border. Facilities. Yeah, let me put another facility right along here. Man, they are really beatboxing something up in there. There we go. Got that going. I could probably put another one right in here. Actually, I should take this time to... I should focus on the scientists, train up the scientists, then send them on vacation. Why are you making me... I want to train. Ah, train research required. Okay. Yeah, go rest. You're not very, you're not super unmotivated, so you're fine. You know, I could probably put a little pin right here.
Transit has commenced.
Yeah, go ahead and refuel everything.
Asset transported.
Yeah, go ahead and check the status of this new boy. I have no comfort data. I sure hope you're not a social dinosaur, since I bungled catching the second one. Oh good, there you are. So I need... There you go. You are perfectly happy. And I've got the next group coming in just a little bit, so that's good. Oh, this is such a dumb idea. And there's a fence. Ooh, 4 Sinoceratops. Okay. Yeah, transport them into this giant enclosure over here.
Assets in the air. Commencing asset transit. Asset has been
Hey, go ahead and check on this thing for me, will you? I'm not sure if this is going to be enough space for something, for a giant meat eater. Although, I could probably transport the Allosaurus over into here. Oh, hello.
It is the tremendous skull of Torosaurus that unsurprisingly garners the most attention, with hornlets running along the edges.
Okay, so the
elongated frill features two large.
okay, so this Sinoceratops is going to be an issue. Okay, we're gonna have to take this Sinoceratops out of here. That's a Torosaurus and the Chasmosaurus. So the Torosaurus hates everybody. No, it hates the Torosauruses.
Collecting asset.
Alright, so let me take a look at... Scan the Allosaurus, and I need...
Asset has been collected.
Okay, what's fighting now? A Sinoceratops.
Asset transported.
DRS, CHS. That's a Sinoceratops right there. DRS. SNC. Alright, we're going to have to get the Sinoceratopses out of here. Because them and the Taurosauruses hate each other.
Asset collection request received. En route to collect the asset. Asset requiring collection.
And you are still treating the Sinoceratops. Okay. Environment. Water. Add a little bit of water. Is the issue the Taurosauruses?
Asset being transported. Asset transportation in progress.
Taurosaurus. Gain on rest. Yes, I get it. You need to rest.
Transportation complete. Asset transportation complete. Picking up asset.
Alright, missing ground fiber, so let's go ahead and get you plenty of ground fiber. And you also need some forest.
Delivery complete. Transportation underway.
Let's try this.
Delivery has been completed.
Okay, maybe if I get rid of maybe if I add just a little bit of water. Okay, so I need forest and ground fiber, so I need tons of brown fiber. Brown nut tall leaf. Okay, so it's at 78%. You're unhappy about it, but you're comfortable. Oh, that dropped it a lot. Okay, that's back up a little bit. %, 68%, 6% water. Come on. I can get, if I can get like 1 more percent. 81, that's enough. Alright, now to get my people to rest. You are... You're in need of rest. You're in need of rest. You know what? Everybody go take naps. You'll feel better. That. Now for the gate. And I need... Plenty of facilities, that's what I like to see. Here we go. And you need a resupply. Fill her up. Boom, papa, mau, mau. Yes. Okay, let's see what's next. Alright, everybody's done resting, which is great. Let's see, this is a Baryonyx, a Deinonychus, and a Diplodocus. Ooh. You know, I think I'm going to put the Diplodocuses in here. And I think that the facilities are going to be... There's going to be some very good facilities in here. Plenty of research facilities. And I've got about 45 seconds for that. You're fine. What is even in here? Right, Parasaurolophuses and Ankylosauruses. Actually, this might be a good one for the Diplodocuses as well. Let's see, response facilities, I don't need those. Let's go ahead and combine some of these roads. That way, things are a little bit easier and less congested. 20 seconds left. Where do I want to put the Diplodocus? Kind of want to put them in here. I mean, this would be a good place for like the Baryonyx, since it's a medium thing. Ooh, 3. I got 2 Diplodocus.
Transporting asset.
Don't need that. Okay, so somebody needs to get trained. Research required. Let's go with logistics. Yeah, go ahead and start upgrading that so I can get you all leveled up a little bit more.
Asset has been transported. Asset has been delivered.
Okay. We're making progress. But there's always more to be done. For you, anyway. Take this next objective, for example.
Alright, scan the Diplodocus for me. See what's going on there. Alright, faster research, so that means I'm going to put you on purely that, and then I'm going to train you on welfare. You're a generalist, so yeah, I'm liking this so far. The Jabal is research heavy. So now huzzah! More training. Why are you tranquilized? Let me guess, Diplodocus? Yep. Alright. And I need tall fruit. Okay, tall fruit, ground fiber. And then I can add a forest. You know what? That's good enough for you. Ah, mission complete.
This is what we'd hoped to accomplish on Isla Nublar. A place where the dinosaurs could finally thrive. Minus the volcano. Obviously.
That's a pretty big minus.
I think
Yeah,
we
pretty
can
big.
all be proud of what we've accomplished here.
But
But what?
I can hear it in your voice.
Okay. I'm just wondering what Dua is really up to. I don't buy all her saving the future by controlling the past talk.
Yeah, Lambert mentioned that some of the animals were being moved to an undisclosed location. He wouldn't say, or maybe he didn't know who was taking delivery, but it wasn't the DFW.
A third party?
And you and I are not invited.
Well, that seems like a good place as any for us to call this evening. As soon as this cutscene ends.
First reports were from Seattle-Tacoma Airport's air traffic control, but now we're getting radar hits from Portland International. So they're traveling south.
Probably because of the weather.
Agreed. They're migrating. But what happens if one of these animals decides to play chicken with a commercial airliner?
This is the modern world and the prehistoric one on a collision course.
And let us go ahead and save this here.
If Owen and Lambert do what they say they can, we're going to need facilities in place for the flyers when they arrive. Let's start with some aviary domes and a hatchery. Oh, we also need an expedition center, and as you heard, time is not on our side.
Ah, I know who we're going to raid. I mean, that's not a new problem. Geese colliding with planes, I imagine, is essentially the same issue. Kinda, but, you know. Imagine a goose the size of a truck hitting you. But, friends, compatriots, compeers, I want to take a moment and thank each and every single one of you for coming out. I don't normally do this, but I figured, you know what? I don't have anything to do tonight. Why not? But I might do this again. I mean, we had Daedalus show up tonight. Who knows? I imagine that Belky might be interested in this, but we'll see what happens next time. But for now, take care of yourselves and each other, and I hope you have a wonderful morning, noon, night, evening, wherever it is, wherever you are. Thank you for your kindness and your generosity. And until next time, have a good one, everybody.